Hi, I'm Hayley Westbrook, and this is my oral questions video for Kona's School of Digital Filmmaking. And I'm just going to answer the questions. You probably already know that now. So, why do I want to take this school? I want to take this school because I feel like the Lord has called me to filmmaking, and even though I'm not 100% sure on what aspect yet, I feel like it's going to allow me to really hone in and focus on where God is leading me, on what His will is for my life, on what I can do for Him, and and on what His heart for me is. And I feel like Kona is a really good fit for that. That it's going to allow me to to not only grow in the aspects of learning to be a filmmaker, but also most importantly to grow in my spiritual walk with Him, to grow in His heart for other people, to to be able to listen to what He's saying in the midst of a crazy, really crazy culture. And so I feel like it's something that the Lord's led me to do, and I'm excited. What am I planning to do with the knowledge and experience that I will gain during this school? Well, with the mindset that I'm pursuing this as a career, I'm probably it's it's going to equip me to do His will, and that's so important, I think, and to follow His heart, and I think I'm going to be able to use the things that I learn at the Kona School of Filmmaking and apply it every day, and just be a good steward of that knowledge and experience, and be able to use it and be able to give God glory through it. And I think that's really important to me, is to do things with integrity and to do things with God's heart, and I'm really I think it's a good thing. And how do I see myself in 10 years? Well, in 10 years, hopefully, I see myself um, just in the middle of God's will. I mean, the reality is God could, I never know what God's going to do. He could completely change, change, you know, my heart from filmmaking and turn it into a heart for businessmen, or, a heart for Israel, or, and so what I really want to do in 10 years is be right in the center of God's will. I really want to live my life open-handedly, with the ability to say, okay, this is not my own, this is not myself, and this is only God could do this. And I mean, my wish and where I feel like God is leading me is toward filmmaking, and so I feel like in 10 years, hopefully, I will be out there making films, making a difference for Christ, sharing His heart with the people that I come in contact with, and sharing His heart for celebrities, and with celebrities and with other filmmakers, and able to really be a positive influence in that scene. And so, am I pursuing filmmaking as a career? Well, in case that wasn't obvious, then definitely, in one word, yes, I am pursuing it as a career. It's something I always knew growing up, that for some reason that world really stood out to me above just the normal life. And it's so true. It does for almost all of America and every place all over the world. Everybody dreams of that. But when I became a Christian, that's when God started showing me His heart, and he feels so passionate about it, and I feel like he's allowed me to tap into some of His passion, and and I feel like it's something that He's called me to, and it's something that He's been stewarding and growing in my heart over years and years of time. It was never just this one-time thing, or it's something I really deeply feel called to, and so I'm definitely pursuing it as a career, as long as the Lord allows, and I can't wait to see where He takes me. So, as a Christian, what will my role in the industry be? That's such a good question. Um, Honestly, my role, first and foremost, in my mindset, is that I'm a missionary in the industry. I am I'm to be praying and seeking His heart every single day for everything that I encounter, for every person that I encounter, whether it be the cameraman or the director or the guy who sweeps the studios at midnight. It's not about, for me, it's being a missionary. It's understanding God's heart for this. It's it's reaching out and being a light the way that Jesus was a light to the sinners, and in the way that Jesus hung out with them, and stuff like that. Like, I feel like my role is definitely to be a missionary, and that goes hand in hand also with being an intercessor and a prayer warrior, to be praying over projects and praying over studios and praying over the people that I come in contact with, so that God will allow me to have opportunities to share the love of Christ through that. So, next, who is my favorite director and why? Honestly, it was a toss up, but I'm pretty sure I narrowed it down. My favorite director is probably Guy Ritchie. He directed the Sherlock Holmes 1 and 2 movies, and I think he's my favorite director because he has such fresh perspective. He has such a unique way of doing things. He's so, for lack of a better word, he's so creative. He sees the way he sees things and is able to transfer that onto the screen is amazing. The way he's able to capture your heart and get you to fall in love with his characters, and at the same time, like, able to create that conflict, and to create you rooting for the good guy. I think it's really cool and really refreshing. I really enjoy his movies. They're really, I don't know, they're really fun. They're really creative. They're really unique. I think he's extremely unique, and maybe hopefully I can be like that. And my last and final question is, what is my favorite movie and why? Well, that's such an easy one. My favorite movie, I narrowed it down because there's 3 of them in this series, but it's Lord of the Rings. But the very, very favorite is The Return of the King, which is the final installment. And that's my favorite movie because, I mean, minus the fact that it was such a huge part of my childhood and such a huge part of how my family kind of bonded, um, the storyline is just brilliant. It's so a reflection of God's heart. It's so how He does things. His kingdom is the backwards kingdom. He does things that I mean, Frodo was just a hobbit, and he's a hobbit that was called to save the world, and that's so the way that God is. He's so there's that verse that talks about the Lord uses the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and I think that that's such a testimony of how great God is, that He can take somebody so small, so insignificant as a hobbit, and call him to this big, huge plan that's literally impossible, and He equips him to do it, and also just the director's ability to get you to fall in love. I mean, there are 9 main characters basically, and you fall in love and each and every one of them individually, and I think that's a real gift to be able to do that, to be able to understand so, like, 9 characters' hearts, and to know where they're coming from, what their background is, where they're going, and I think that's really neat. And that movie just really speaks to me because it's just such a massive picture of Christ. I mean, he was just like Frodo, growing up as a carpenter and born in a manger. I mean, that's the lowest you can get. And then I just think that movie is such a testament, and I think it's just really incredible. And that's it. That's that video. So I hope that you're able to see my heart, and but hopefully, most importantly, you're able to see God's heart on this on filmmaking, and I hope you guys have a blessed day.